Welcome back, y'all, to the show that takes you through the archives of R&B craftsmanship, brotherhood, and legacy. Now, this gentleman to my right needs no introduction, but for those of you who have been living on the moon for the last 10 years.
I am Michael Cox, and the gentleman next to me is the great, the legendary
Johnta Austin.
Welcome to Sessions. All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back.
We back, baby. We back, man. You never know. I mean, I got to shout out my man Eugene with the Braves, man, because he hooked me up with the, we got the jersey.
Yeah, I got the Air Max popping on.
Yeah, it's City Connect all the way, baby.
This
is a very special color and jersey because I grew up. My grandfather used to take me to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
Oh,
we go see Dale Murphy.
Wow.
So we rocking the 3 for Murph.
Love it.
The hat, the shoes. I usually don't do this level of
matching.
but we got it going on today.
Yeah.
My grandfather, may he rest in peace, the Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop.
Bishop. He used to take me. We would pull up to the stadium on game day.
Mm-hmm.
It's back where we were just okay, but we had Dale Murphy. We go sit in the cheap seats.
Oh, yeah.
Over center field.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a rich nigga tale. We was up. We was up. But I was with my grandfather, man, and this is like one of those moments, you the happiest kid in the world,
Absolutely,
man.
brother.
You sitting there, you get to watch some baseball.
Yeah.
With your grandpops and watch your favorite baseball player at the time. And so,
love it.
Shout out to the Braves and Eugene over at the Braves for always showing us love.
Showing us love, brother.
What we got going on, man? What's going on in the world? Cox.
Man, we're just out here working, man. Just trying to. You got a few projects on deck. I know people. If you've been following my social media, you know that. Me and Jermaine been in the studio with Kelly Rowland.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been in the dream, and we've been in the studio with Kelly. So that's been a great process of discovery and peeling back layers and creating a project for. I think that it's going to be something very, very special. And we've been putting a lot of time into it and getting it finished. Between that, of course, working on a new Usher album. I mean, I know that you guys been peeling away and. Songs, trying to figure out what songs are gonna make the album, and we got a lot of songs now.
A lot of songs.
We got a lot of songs now.
Yeah,
I know you guys been pulling it together, figuring out what's what.
Yeah.
And I know we're gonna have a little something on there.
Oh yeah. It'll be some motions. It'll be, what I mean. It's gonna be some things.
Yeah.
I definitely have broken out my A&R ears.
I love it.
I love it. Through it, and but shouts out to the whole team, Keith and Gooch and Jen. And, we're going to get it right.
I feel like we're going to get to the finish line sooner than later. I was telling somebody, obviously we're in the middle of the tour, the Chris Brown Usher tour. We're in the middle of it. I think that it's smart that we drop a song as soon as possible while we're on the tour to figure,
ASAP.
You know what I mean?
Rocky. You know what I mean? We got it, ASAP. I agree. New music and see if we can get it in, get something moving and put it into the show.
Put it into the show, I know they were working on the collab album. I don't know if that's something that we could talk about, but.
I've heard talks. And my comings and goings. Well, that's for another time, kid.
Another time. But yeah, it's been pretty good creatively. I'm doing. I guess by now I could actually talk about this. I'm actually doing a resurgence of Day 26. So we shot a doc.
Love that.
We made an album. We're still recording. And I'm feeling very, very good about the process and good about the project we're making. The doc looks great. And they're doing a tour, so I'm going to join them on tour for a few dates in the fall.
Okay.
So it's just we're doing some nostalgia, we're doing some new stuff. We just gotta keep it mixed up. You know what I'm saying?
What I love about the genre and the fans of the genre is that when you have an impact on us,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do something just wild and crazy for us not to hold space
Facts.
for you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, you know, quality acts like Day 26, that real R&B fans hold space for them.
They do.
As they should, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great debut album. All the guys can sing.
Yep.
You know, just a quality group.
Yep.
So I'm excited to hear that project and hear what you guys have been cooking up. As I think are a lot of R&B fans, because if you're a fan of R&B, chances are you're a fan of Day 26.
Yeah, basically.
You know, as you should.
What you think, man? What you think about some of the new artists that's coming out this summer? That's came out this summer. Do you have anybody that you particularly like?
Ooh, that I, you know, not new artists. But, you know, a recent album, I don't know if we've had a chance to get into it, and because I am never going to dodge a chance to shout out Kehlani.
Never.
Hey, Kehlani.
Hey. Hello to Kehlani and Kehlani only.
Yeah, right. Good morning to only Kehlani. No, that album... Phenomenal album. Fantastic. I mean, we were all excited about the album from the single. The album did not disappoint. I think it's a great piece of art, and so I'm loving that. You know, I think, you know, it's interesting hearing some of these songs from the Brown album. Be implemented into the show because they give you, you know, you get a better feel and some context, you know, for them. So I mean, I don't want to give too many of those songs away, but he is performing songs from the Brown album, and I like it. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, Breezy's not a new artist; he's a legend and established.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think there are good, you know, new songs and new albums and new, you know, projects.
Yeah, I think we can't dismiss or not talk about Duran Bernard, his album, you know, critically acclaimed, and, you know, I mean, obviously,
you know, I ain't gonna get into who all produced on it, but you know, there it is.
It's great to see him get his critical, you know, his acclaim.
Absolutely.
It's good to see Alex Isley put out a project and get her props. You know, like I said, it's a lot of new music out there. Like I always get this boy's name mixed up. His name's Elamine, the artist from Def Jam, is from UK. He's you know making
Elamine?
Elamine.
Elamine, not LMA.
No, LMA is LMA.
Okay.
This Elamine. Elamine is a guy.
Got it.
Okay.
Not a one. Okay. He's a guy. Okay, got it. Elamine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
AMIN? ELAMIN?
ELIMAINE.
Okay.
I believe that's what it sounds like. Elamine, but it's Elamine.
Elamine. Like Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Elamine. I like that Elamine.
I mean, obviously, it's all kinds of new music coming out on a regular basis, but some of those are the standouts for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even on the hip hop side, I mean, we're gonna talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
We're gonna talk. We gotta, spin that.
Spin that. Carisha, please.
Lord have mercy. But it's going.
We're definitely gonna talk about it. I think that it's an interesting conversation. And we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
obviously,
I
mean, Drake has the Shebang record, which is, popping for the summer too. To me, I feel like, those two records are.
I love Shebang.
Those two records are competing. I think, in a real way, Shebang's fire.
Yeah. You think about trying me, dude, like Bryson, you pussy ass nigga, and don't. Yeah, I like Shebang. Yeah. That joint's going.
So today we're sitting with someone whose career has touched every part of entertainment, just about.
Yeah, I mean, she is a singer,
Yeah.
songwriter,
Yeah.
actress,
Yeah.
executive,
Yeah.
I mean, content creator.
We've had the pleasure of knowing her for a long time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it was always
And
good to
an
talk to her.
incredible vocalist. I know I said
yeah.
singer,
Yeah,
but
but it's-
singer
Let's not play
is
with
with
it.
an A.
You feel me?
S-A-N-G.
Let's not play with it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
we go, it's one thing to be a singer, but then you can sing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to say how long because I feel like it dates myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to date myself. I'm getting old, y'all, and I don't want to start saying things like I've known people for 20 years. But anyway, when we come back, we are gonna have the great, the incomparable Miss Nicci Gilbert. All right, we back.
Be back, baby.
Okay, as promised, you know, we always bring you the guests of the highest caliber.
Yes.
Legends on legends on legends, talent, you know, and gifts in this thing that we call R&B that we love so much. Ladies and gentlemen, put it together for Miss Nicci Gilbert.
Yes.
Hey, baby. How you doing? Come here. Oh, so good to see you. So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Man,
Good to
talk
see
about
you.
legends up in here.
We in the
Talk
building
about
with you.
legends.
Yeah, we in the building
Hi,
with you.
guys.
What's up, man?
Welcome,
Hey.
welcome.
Hey, it's been a long time.
Long time. Yeah,
It's been a long time.
We still here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I see you. Oh my God, my grandson would go crazy.
Yeah,
That's
man,
his
you know.
favorite color. I didn't. What is it? I can't think of it right now. But he's a cyan blue.
Okay. Oh,
Is that what he calls it?
Oh, I
Yeah, I
just
think
called
so.
it Carolina blue, but yeah.
Carolina blue. That could
There
be
you
it
go.
too.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Yes.
Cyan?
I think it was called cyan blue.
Cyan.
Yeah, he's like cyan blue. He's
Okay.
a brainiac, so he's like Nana. So it was his birthday fit was the same color.
I love that.
So, yes.
I love that. Man, you
Yes.
know, welcome to the show.
Thank
man.
you for
Welcome
having
to the
me.
show,
Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like I just want to jump in, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we obviously go way back. When did it all start for you? Like where's your origin story?
Oh my goodness, I'm a Detroit girl.
Okay.
I'm a Detroit girl through and through.
Shout out to Detroit, the D.
What up, though? What up,
up,
though?
though?
What it do? Detroit girl through and through. My mom.
Not Auburn Hills.
Detroit.
Detroit.
D.
Proper.
I'm from Detroit, which is why I always end up in so much trouble. I always say Detroit is in my DNA.
Okay.
It's the whole thing.
Okay.
My mom was a jazz singer, played all the local jazz clubs in the city. And my dad was actually an engineer, producer, and songwriter for Motown. He started with Barry in the very beginning. It's in my DNA.
Okay.
In real life.
Okay.
Love that. Okay. Love that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Big Mix, Clay McMurray. He wrote If I Were Your Woman for Gladys Knight. Norma Whitfield is my godfather. Carl
Yeah, the
Come on
DNA is
now.
Absolutely.
thick. Okay,
Clarence
yeah.
Avant was my dad's best friend. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
it's like that.
Okay.
It's been
okay.
yeah.
That's amazing. I
That
didn't
makes
know
a lot of sense though for like
Yeah, right?
the skill set
Big old
that you
mouth
came on
and
the
just
scene
singing.
with too. And,
Absolutely.
like that makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Perfect sense.
What church did you come up in Detroit?
So
'Cause I
actually,
did-
you know what? I went to church with the neighbors. Right?
Okay.
I went to church with the neighbors. My neighbors were very, very like, literally like, you cannot wear red lipstick. You cannot wear, you know,
Of course.
that. My mom was very open, you know, in terms of her perspective. I'm not gonna hold you up. Rest in peace, Mom. But you know, my mother believed in aliens and Nephilim and all those things. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of. You know, I got a very open sort of, you know.
It's just diverse. You got
very diverse
Yeah,
perspectives, right?
I believe in aliens too, side note. So
I do too.
You know.
And I
I think we all can agree there.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know if this is all a distraction, but my mother was very like Niburu. I'm like, okay, Mom. But now I get it. And if she was here today to see all the conversation around it,
She probably be like, I told you.
I told you. I tried to told you.
I told you. I tried to tell you. So I be grateful for that.
Yeah.
You know? And she didn't stunt us with her beliefs. She allowed us to, you know, you want to go to church every Sunday? You can go with Miss Hill.
Yeah.
Go out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
That's amazing. Who recognized your talent first? Like, what was something
Oh my.
Or when did you realize you had a thing?
Okay, I tell this story. I'm trying to tell it a different way. So in high school, well, first of all, my mom was always, we would tease her. Because, you know, my mom is listening to Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, Nina Simone. We like, okay, Ma. We had a room in our house called the music room, which was just when we got old enough, my mom put my sisters and I in the basement, which we loved, because Detroit, Midwest, they have basements.
Yeah.
So we each had a section of the basement that was our room. So we turned our extra spare bedroom into her like music room. So music was always in my house. I remember one of the first investments my mother made was a piano. And I started trying to like, play by ear, for lack of a better word. And it was in high school, 14 years old. I was always kind of singing.
Yeah.
But that moment when it just like hit me and I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I called myself a prep back in the day, where most people wanted the fresh stuff. I was shopping in resale shops, and Lisa Bonet on The Cosby Show was like my inspiration for style and all of that. So I said, I'm gonna do Crazy for You by Madonna.
Okay.
In the talent show.
Wow.
And people were like, what? Like, huh?
Nice.
A talent show in Detroit.
In Detroit, in the hood.
You're Madonna.
Right? And I'm swaying room right? And they're just like, what is going, boo. And then I got to the hook. And
Crazy boy.
they was on their feet.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, this is what this feels like. This is why mom goes out to the jazz clubs and does it. And I realized in that moment that it was my thing.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously you could say that's when you realize, oh, this is my calling.
This is it, yeah.
I get it.
I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what that meant, but I just knew that I wanted to have more of this.
You and music and performing
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's always great when you when you get the crowd, that gratification from the crowd. So I had a moment like that when I was in middle school, and I was like, did a talent show, and I was nervous, and then you start singing, and the kids went crazy. I was like, oh, okay.
Then you popped it, right? You the one. You in the hallway, like, you the one.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It feels, you know what I mean? So I know when that, I know how that feels, you know what I mean?
What was your talent show song?
My talent show song?
Yeah.
I actually performed twice at that talent show. So
boom.
So what's crazy is, because
you burned the Midnight Falcons over there.
I signed up to do solo, right?
Okay.
And then while I was rehearsing, there was a group that was like, yo, sing with us too. So, you know what song I did solo? It was so random. It's so random.
Okay.
I did Smile by Guy.
That was a good one.
But in Houston, it wasn't like a hit. You know what I mean? It was like, I should have did Let's Chill if I wanted to get the instant response. So the song comes on, nobody even knows what I'm singing.
Oh, wow.
Singing the song.
Right.
And then then as I got into So it's like, and then the song that I sang with the group was Jodeci. Was
At least you didn't sing Long Gone by...
No, that would have been way after my...
Sometimes I feel... Okay, we're going to get it. Mine was when I was with a group, Boyz II Men's version of It's So Hard to Say Goodbye.
Of course.
To Yesterday.
The one, right?
Here's the funny part. It was a two-man group, and we're trying to do...
Oh, no, I did that before. We did it with Shy. We tried to do it if I Ever Fall in Love. And it was just me and one other guy.
Right, trying to do all the parts.
Right.
Crazy.
And then my I won a talent show singing Tevin Campbell's Tomorrow. The very first.
Yes.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Better you. Yeah. So those are, it's funny. I like to talk to people who were in talent shows.
Yeah, talent shows were the thing. Y'all better start doing talent shows.
We gotta do talent shows.
When we gonna get back to talent? We need to throw a talent show.
Y'all should do a talent. Y'all would be great to do a talent show.
Like a proper talent show.
Like a real
proper talent show.
Yeah.
A proper talent
to have people come out, that'd be crazy.
Simon Cowell, sit down, though.
Yeah. But before we get into signing the deal, how did you and the other ladies meet? Was that through the deal? Was that before? How?
It was definitely before.
Okay.
Maxie, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Both of y'all, by the way. Oh
yes.
My God. I get the hustle from my mama. So like, I never really thought that I would be a solo artist. Like I'm a harmonies person. Go figure, right? I was really into like harmonies and blends, and I had some insecurities, right? As an artist, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the mold of the solo artist. So Mimi, Maxie, and I actually had auditions in 91 or 92, right? Booked Debbie Reynolds Studios, put an ad in this paper called The Drama Log.
Whoa, you went. Yo, what? Yo.
Oh, wow.
I love it, though. That's crazy. Amazing.
I told you I get it from my mama. And there were 5 of us initially, right? Because I did, and I remember, speaking of boys and men songs, I remember hearing Maxie sing. She sang slowly. I was like, what?
Please don't go. Yeah.
What? And Maxie's voice was so dope and butter and just, she called them curls, not runs, because she's from South America.
Exactly.
Like curls. And Mimi sang a jazz record. So coming from a jazz background, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And the 2 other women who were part of the group, one was actually Barry White's niece, and then Maxie's friend, Selena. They kind of, you know how it is, you start off a larger number of people and then they dropped off. And I just started writing, right? I was just like, listen, let me write. And I wrote a song called True to Me, right? Which is really dope. It was actually on our first record. Well, it probably wasn't that dope. It was dope to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was there.
You understand? And so we started hustling and just doing demos and stuff. Randy Jackson, speaking of American Idol, offered us like a demo deal.
Okay.
And somebody was like, no, don't take it. There's something bigger. You know what I mean? So what's really crazy is Maxie, who was stunning, right? Naomi Campbell, drop dead gorgeous. We were walking down the street in Melrose, and this guy stopped her and was like, yo, you're beautiful. I'm doing a music video. This guy's Shep.
Okay.
You know, white guy, right? He's like, I'm doing this video for this song called Lost in a Dream, and like, I need a video girl. Would you do it? So I'm like, girl, do it. I'm your manager. Go ahead. You know, they might have some connections, whatnot. So we go way out to California, get stranded in Banning, California, in the desert.
Ooh.
It was crazy. And one of the vans went down. The kid who was financing the video stayed behind. And I was like, well, this is the guy that I should be talking to.
I get it.
His parents are financing videos, so I'll stick around with you. You guys go, because there was not enough room for all the cameras and all that. Like, we're gonna miss the light. So nobody ever came to pick us up. We walk off the freeway, sit in the van, chitting and chatting, and he's like, we gotta find. So we walk off the freeway, get to this small town where there's nothing. He goes into a bar. He's like, I'm gonna find somebody to drive us back to LA. He found 2 older white men looking like ZZ Top and was like, they're gonna take us to El Camino. You're just gonna have to. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Oh, well, I'm leaving you. So he left me in the middle of nowhere, and I'm walking down the street. And I'm like, what have you gotten yourself into? And I'm just praying and I'm crying and I'm like, God, I promise if you let me out of this, find a police station, call Mimi, who was in the group at the time. Can you please come pick me up? She drives hours to come pick me up. The next day, they said, we want to make this up to you because we heard he left you. Let me take you to dinner. We'll give you a courtesy meeting with this publisher, Barry Kolsky, at Emerald Forest. You said you write songs, I'm introduced you to the publishers. I go and I meet the Barry. Barry's like, nice, wonderful. Okay, it's not exactly what we're looking for. We appreciate it, but you know, good luck. Right, very courtesy. On the way out the door, there were 2 women downstairs, Marla McNally and Linda Blum, who were the owners of the publishing company, Emerald Forest. And they're like, what was that upstairs? And you know, I'm like, oh, well, us? They're like, did you write the songs? I'm like, absolutely. So like, can you come back? We came back. The next thing you know, they were like, oh my God, had us sing it. We want to introduce you to a friend of ours. That friend ended up being Jerry Greenberg. We went and sang for Jerry Greenberg. I will never forget the day. Jerry Greenberg, which we didn't know at the time, was running Michael Jackson's label. We had no idea. We had no idea where we were going. Like, it was just, you know, go sing for this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it.
Opportunity and preparation. And we went in and sang for Jerry. I'll never forget. He was like, oh my God, do you hear the harmonies? And Jerry was a drummer, right, at Atlantic. And he was like, I got something for you. Bring them back. We came back, we sang in a conference room. They said, go in the room, sing the song, leave. Don't ask no questions, don't blah, 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 blah. We went in, did our thing, left. About 2 weeks later, we got a call. Maxie comes in. We did the publishing deal, because of course you had to do that first. You know what I'm saying? It was
something down there.
Baby, listen. And I ain't even gonna hold you up. It was it was one of them deals where it was like, what?
I believe that.
But we were like, there's something else in there. I mean, like, I'm not even gonna mention what was offered. You know, but I was the big mouth of the group, and I'm like, no, my dad said in perpetuity we need get at least $200, right? I'm joking. And and long story short, we got an apartment. We didn't even have a phone. Maxie used to run to the payphone to make calls, right? We didn't have cell phones back then, right?
Wow.
And we didn't have a house phone. So Maxie basically came in shaking me. We got a record deal. You'll never guess who it was. You'll never guess who it was. Who? Michael Jackson, and then the rest is history.
Wow.
Wow.
There it is. Yeah, so I got stranded in the desert, got a courtesy meeting, and that turned into a deal with Michael Jackson.
Absolutely crazy.
I love what you say about, you know, opportunity and preparation. And I think a lot of times people are, you know, resistant to just going.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Don't.
That's it.
You don't always know. And most of the time, when something amazing is about to happen, you don't have all of the steps.
That's it.
A lot of times, yeah.
But you have to follow the first step, which is going to this place, and then that place will lead you to the next place, and then so on and so forth. And, you know, I can't show you that Michael Jackson is at the end of this and a deal with his company. Because if I tell you, you know, you're gonna be stranded in the desert and you're gonna be walking.
You're gonna be like, what?
You're gonna be like, nah, I'll figure out another way to get the mic. You know, I figure out another way to get the mic, but it's like, you know, just go.
Just go.
You know.
Just go. And it's Faye, one of the few people I call my friends in this industry, always says, if you coming from the right place, you can't go wrong. And you just have to go. Yeah, that fizzy.
I love that.
That fizzy, she'll, you know, and it's I replay that every single time. So I don't even question when God brings you to your knees to make you pay attention to something, because he knows it's happening long before you do. And you just have to take the order steps and
no, 100%.
And be a decent person. That's it.
So you guys out the box have a smash.
No, we didn't out the box have a smash. Actually, our first record, I was flowing.
You was rapping?
What? The Google Pass the Lovin', Pass the Lovin'. Okay, and I'm not gonna do it here. Shout out to Queen Latifah.
Wow.
Shout out to Vivian Scott Chu. It was a song called Pass Some Lovin', which was our first single.
Pass Some Lovin'.
Yeah, we did a whole video. We had the fire pit, the thing burning, and the muscle-bound men all oiled up and stuff. It's out there.
Very, very 90s
it was very, very that. And then I wanted the single to be Grapevine, and I think it was Jono Cohen, who was like, it's If You Love Me. The record is If You Love Me. And I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I even having a little co-writer piece on that, I didn't hear it. And then we performed it at, y'all might not remember this, but back in the day, they used to do like the Jack the Rapper, the record conferences or whatever.
Yeah.
And we did that record, Cliff, I will never forget, it was Cliff. We did that record there and the audience went berserk. And Maxie was like, told you, Nicci, told you. And I was like, okay. So then so
If You Love Me.
Kind of out of the box hit.
Yeah.
It was a little one before.
How did that record come together? I mean, I understand you guys work with
Dave Hall and Gordon Chambers.
One of my favorite.
Dave is what?
Yeah.
What? Dave is that guy.
Dave Jam Hall. And Gordon Chambers.
Untouchables, yeah. It was really Gordon. Talk about legends.
Shout out to Gordon. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was. They sent us to New York, and we lived in New York for a while and worked on the record, and that's where we met Dave and Untouchables and all those, Eddie and all those guys.
Yeah.
And just went in, and Dave and Gordon, Dave was messing around with it, and Gordon was like, Dave and I were working on this thing, and then it was when you got in the studio and you actually built stuff out.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And you actually did, most of it, I probably wrote like 90% of the album just because I was always working. You know what I mean? I'm a writer first.
Yeah.
I always tell people I'm a writer first. And it was like, okay, let's go. And it just felt so like when our voices met in those harmonies, that was the goosebumps moment. That was the, this is like crazy.
Yeah.
So that was just vibing and being in the right place at the right time with the right people.
And it feels very like that era when people went to New York and made music. It just feels like that. It feels like
Hell yeah. We were in the studio, like record plant with, not record plant, what's the big one? Hit Factory, I'm sorry.
Hit Factory.
With Blackstreet, when they was recording their first album. So you already, it was everywhere.
That energy, all the music that came out of that energy, that energy was just different. It just feels
Yep.
You know what I mean? That
Absolutely.
New York scene during that period, it just feels like something.
It was something. It was magical, and I think that's why people thought we were from New York.
Yeah.
Because Brownstone, we've spent so much time in New York doing the record.
Yeah. How'd you get the name Brownstone?
Well, another creative idea that I had. We're sitting around a table trying to think of what names are or whatever, and I was just like, well, Mimi mentioned that, she was like, I was reading this book, Brown Girls, Brownstones, and it was about a coming of age, thing or whatever. I was like, that's really dope. And I was like, and when you think about brownstones in New York, on the outside, they look real basic. You know what I mean? Like, they're beautiful now as you get older, but when you go inside, there's like this whole so many different variations, and it just gets a lot. It's doper, right? You know what I mean? So I was like, I want something that represents who we are in terms of our skin. We're 3 different shades of brown, and we're strong. And then I was like, I think Brownstone is the name. And first Maxie was like, Brownstone? And then I'm like, yeah, Max. I'm like, think about it. Strong like stone, earthy color brown. And that was literally on the record, and that's how it happened.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Because
that's the thing. Like, when I first came out, I did think you guys from New York. It was like Brownstone.
Yeah.
To know the meaning behind it.
Strong black women, I guess, at the time when we didn't really understand what that meant.
Really dope. Really now, is there anything that you remember or that stands out? Or let me ask, did you spend any time around MJ? There
were a few moments, like we visited the house on Havenhurst, you know what I'm saying, and met the family and everything. And then, of course, when we did the conferences and stuff, we spent time with him in Europe and Japan, which was great. Like, the European and Japan response to us was like literally, I remember being in Brussels and they were shaking our bus. I remember in Japan, we had to run and hide because the girls were waiting for us to get off of the plane.
Wow.
And we did, so we did a conference with him, a couple of conferences with him. One of my fondest memories is just, we're standing there, we're about to take a picture, and I always kind of was like, I don't really want to. You don't want it too much because I don't want him to change his mind. You know what I mean? I don't want him to be like, did I sign you? But I do remember one of the most inspiring moments of my life was just, I want to say thank you so much, and I appreciate you, and blah 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 blah, and I was like, and that's all. He was like, you nervous? And I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, don't be nervous. I signed you guys because you're great, because you're amazing, and that was it. Like, I didn't need anything else. That's it. Crowned by that guy, I'm like, everything else is gravy. Yeah. He wasn't involved in the creative process, except we would get notes like, Michael and them think this is the record, or this is, Grace and the people from his team they would send everything over, because obviously he's not just gonna have, just throw anything out. But I think he trusted the team, absolutely trusted Jerry Greenberg, who was our biggest cheerleader ever. Shout out to Jerry, Uncle Jerry, as we know him. And it was just freedom, which was beautiful.
It's so interesting because I think about that label. And Mike was very invested in R&B.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it was an R&B label.
Yes.
It was Brownstone, it was Minivision.
Yep.
It was an R&B label.
Yep. Tatiana Ali. Oh, yep. His 3T.
3T, yep.
It was an R&B label.
Yeah.
And for Michael Jackson to be the king of pop.
Yeah.
For his label to be so R&B coded. You know what I'm saying? Like, of the time, R&B coded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, now seeing like the movie and hearing the stories, you get also a glimpse that, Mike was very proud to be a black man and just like, so I'm a black man, I'm focused, I'm gonna invest in black artists, black artists, black art, all of this, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I love to hear that, but yeah, I can only imagine what that is like to have MJ, like, you guys are great.
Crazy.
Go be great, that's why we find you.
I don't gotta hear nothing else.
Right.
You heard what Michael told me though, right?
So becoming successful, having that stamp of approval. Obviously, you're writing the songs. You guys on tour.
Hit record.
Hit record.
Gold album out of the gate, platinum album.
Platinum.
Platinum.
Shipped platinum. Back in the day when you actually sold
a million
records, right?
These are,
we're about 4 now.
Things, that, and I don't think that's important to talk about because.
Gotta talk about that.
As a debut artist?
Yeah. I remember the Mongols was like, y'all shipping platinum.
And y'all single went platinum too, right?
Yes.
Single went platinum.
Absolutely.
And did Grapevine go platinum?
Grapevine went gold. It's platinum now.
But at the time they were doing the run, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So it's like, you have a platinum album, platinum single, gold single, back to back to back.
Yep. And we did really well in Europe too. Really well.
How did you handle, what did success do for you, to you? What did it look like?
What did it look like? You know what's interesting, y'all, is I don't think I fully embraced that part of it because I'm from the hood, right? You know what I'm saying? Like single mom. I was always afraid that it would be taken back. You know what I mean? So I was always working. You know what I mean? The oldest of 3, girls, and I just was always like, put your head down and do the work.
Yeah.
I never really was like into the whole like party and celebrate. I don't really think now you get the instant gratification, social media, who's listening, who's paying attention, right? Back then it was just do the work. And I really appreciate, like when we were working on the album, funny story, we were working on the album, there was always, in every girl group, there's a moment of like, why is Nicci singing this song? Why is that? And I agreed. Like, for me, it was like, well, shit, we all sing. I picked everybody because they could blow.
Exactly.
But the label gets involved. Tommy, I want Nicci to sing on I Can't Tell You Why. Why? Maxie's killing it, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then, because I'm a talker, right? When we did interviews and stuff, it would just be like, I'm a storyteller. And Maxie was more shy and reserved, and Mimi was just kind of like, I'm just here to, do my parts and keep it moving.
Yeah.
So there was a moment of like that tension. So I remember Maxie and I got into it. We were staying at Park Avenue while we were working on the album in New York. And Maxie's South American as well, so quiet, but don't play with her.
Yeah.
Fire.
100%.
Yeah.
Fire, right?
Yeah.
So she's in my face and she did like this, and I like grabbed her, and like we weren't fighting, but it was like a tussle situation. And I called someone, and it got around to Jerry, and he was like, let me explain something to you. You are representing Michael Jackson. You are Coca-Cola. Do you understand that you cannot, you will not? And it was so firm and so legit.
Yeah.
That moment on, I was like, what we doing? We working? What, you know what I'm saying? It was no, like, the bullshit wasn't happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it stuck with me. He's like, you want longevity, then you have to make sure that you don't fall into these habits, or you will end up forgotten about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just kept that with me my whole career. So I wasn't really ever on that whole like popping bottles in the club, celebrating.
I'm here, I've arrived.
I got a reputation for being somebody. I mean, like I said, Detroit is in my DNA, so I'm gonna say what I have to say.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So I got kind of a reputation like, what is that? What does that mean? Why did our lawyers, our accountants, and everybody get chosen by, like there was questions, right?
Yeah.
And I had a little chip on my shoulder because I was from Detroit and I had never been anywhere. When we were in Europe, I was like, I'm ready to go home. Who's in Germany eating? I'm ready to go home. You know what I mean? And everybody else, but this is Europe. And I'm just like, this ain't the D. Let's go. So I was a little difficult in those spaces, but it wasn't.
So you stayed in Detroit. You didn't move to LA.
No. I moved to LA. Okay. I moved to LA. I did move to LA when LA was fly.
But you brought Detroit.
But I brought Detroit literally. I just did a Substack on this. I literally had 6 cousins and 2 siblings living with me.
Wow.
I wanted to save everybody from the hood.
I feel that. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You know
Where'd you go to high school in Detroit?
Cody High School. Cody High.
Cody High. I gotta ask.
Who else famous went to Cody? I think Essie Pata, is it Essie Pata? Okay, let me not start lying. I know Kenya more, and I became besties, and she went to Cody as well for me.
Okay.
Then she went to the bougie school, Cass.
Did you know Teddy Bishop growing up in?
I did not know him until after the fact. Okay. But I knew about him. And Kenny Green was my thing.
Yeah, Detroit Ted.
Right. Kenny Green, stop playing.
Oh, rest in peace to the, my God.
Like, Kenny Green was a monster, and we had the same management.
Did you know J-Dub during that area too?
I did not. I didn't meet J-Dub until like the ATL stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, it's Detroit.
It's Detroit, right? It's all
Clark sisters, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder.
Them people, all of those people.
Detroit is
to the greats.
You know,
Detroit is Detroit.
Smoking around with Stevie Wonder.
Listen, you know what I mean?
It is what it is.
You feel that energy. We were, you know, the R&B tour was just there.
We were just in Detroit.
I know they went crazy.
It was insane. And Anita Baker, shout out to Anita. She's
shout
from
out
Detroit.
to Anita.
Shout out to Aaliyah,
Lizzo's
who's also from
Like
Lizzo. But, you know, we decided to walk back to the hotel between rehearsal, me and JD. And, you know, because JD's like, you know, let me walk down these Barry Gordon streets, see if I can, you know, see if I can pick something up on me. Let's walk down these Barry Gordon streets, man. Let's see what's going on out here, you know. He wanted to feel the vibe of like, nah, man, this is Detroit. You got to get out. I want to walk down the street in Detroit. Let me see what's out here for me.
There's some good stuff happening in the city right now. Detroit's still going Detroit, but it's really a beautiful place. I would recommend that people like get rid of the stereotype in your brain and like go experience the city.
It. I also see like what they're doing downtown. They're building up.
Are you
downtown.
Nicci Gilbert, who I really want to say is my cousin.
Yeah, right.
Hey, cuz, holla at your cuz. They're doing big things in the city.
100%. Absolutely.
I definitely felt it when I was there. I was like, oh, this is
it's
And it was, but like, vibrant even at we left the stadium one night. It's 2:30 in the morning and I'm passing places and people are still like going in and coming out. I'm like, this is what I loved about Atlanta. This is how Atlanta used to be.
And I love to see that people are embracing it. People from Atlanta coming to Detroit doing things, and it's like you know, we got one of the few downtowns where you can go to all the sporting venues, you know, in the same place.
Absolutely.
The food is amazing. The people are amazing. It's just a really great place. I'm so glad to be from.
Had a great time.
Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad they did you good. Come on, Detroit.
Detroit. It was great.
Yeah.
I have a question. You know, after proving yourself, you know, repeatedly in music, songwriting, performing, what was the moment when you realized that you had additional talents outside of music, you know, television and film?
I've always known that.
Okay.
Like no shade, but like I was a theater girl.
Okay.
Shout out.
Was Cody a performing arts school?
No. So let me tell you this. This is so dope.
Okay.
My drama teacher, Susan Story, shout out to her, beautiful little Scottish woman. My other mother, like she literally took me to enroll in college and helped us get scholarships. And she was an English teacher, but she realized that we did not have an arts program, right? So she built in the basement of the auditorium. We all cleaned out the basement and took all the junk and stuff out of there.
Wow.
And we built like a drama studio called La Troupe des Arts, right?
Wow.
And we did plays every year. And it was just the place for refuge for so many of us artsy, like creative kids who were like, I'll maintain. She made us maintain a 2.5 GPA or we couldn't do it. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? When we started struggling, she went and talked to the other teachers and got, so it should have been a performing arts school. We were on the news, baby. I was a star before all this. I was on the Detroit news with the plays.
Let's talk about it then.
But yeah, it was a beautiful thing to have someone who recognized that in us. And four of us went to school on theater scholarships. I went to Eastern Michigan on theater scholarship.
That's fantastic.
My best friend saw Dead Poets Society, and he was like, Carpe diem, seize the day, do it while you're young.
Yeah.
Like, take this Pell Grant money and move to LA.
Wow.
I didn't take no Pell Grant money and move to LA. That could have been an idea, but.
What play did you do? And how?
Alice in the Land of Wonder, which was a spin on Alice in Wonderland.
Okay, were you Alice?
Color Girls. No, I was the damn Griffin. I wanted to be the tall Alice because they did the whole, like when she drank. I was the Griffin, and the Mock Turtle. I'm sorry, the Mock Turtle.
Okay.
And we sat on the stump with the Griffin. We did For Color Girls. I was Lady in Green.
Yeah, oh wow.
We did West Side Story.
Of course.
I mean, like, you know, all of them, you know, and she would do adaptations of them, so.
Which I love.
I was a theater girl. I really wanted to do television and film and acting more than music.
The music, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
My parents were musicians. I wanted to do something different.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's, interesting, you know.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you do plays growing up?
Yeah, it was, I was in theater at PVA. It was crazy. At the school I went to, I entered as a theater student.
Wow.
I entered HSPVA as a theater student.
What was your favorite play from there?
We did it was a play called, well, of course I did All School Musical, Oklahoma.
Okay.
The Black History play was always original stuff. So it was a guy named Thomas Melanson who would write the plays for the school.
Oh, wow.
Then we did these black box theater things.
Ah, yeah.
Theater shorts.
Yep.
And there's one I could think about in particular that's really hilarious. I'm not quite sure if they have pictures or this foolishness is called. It's called Love Shorts. It's a play that the students wrote with, a group of students wrote with the teacher.
Oh, dope.
And in this play, I was Cupid. I had to wear like a blonde wig with the diaper and the whole nine, swinging in from the top of the black box. It was
hilarious.
Just wildness, you know what I'm saying? It's absolute wildness. And
the diaper and the blonde hair. Look, where's the tape? Show us the tape.
The most popular Black History play we did there was this play called Wearing You in 65.
Okay.
Oh,
It
wow.
was a whole play about 1965 and, you know, all the stuff that was happening with, you know, with Black culture during that era. It was fun, man. I used to love theater. And then like halfway through high school, I went to the music department.
Okay.
11th grade, I went to the music department. And I was in vocal and I did jazz and all the different things in the music department.
Yeah.
I did one play in school, the Candy Man. Not like the Sammy Davis Jr.
I know what
not like the horror.
Yeah, not the horror movie.
The
sunrise.
Exactly. And I was the Candy Man.
Candy Man.
The Candy Man can, because he mixes it with love and makes the world
taste good. Come on, baby. Come on. Stop playing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Theater kid.
So now, acting and producing.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna say, did it unlock something that singing couldn't? But it feels like that was you are an actor and a producer who happened to sing. Is that how you view yourself?
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
Yeah, it was just, yep. I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, I was in chorus and choraleers and stuff in high school as well. So I was singing, but, you know, my passion was, you know, shoot, I was like, I want to be on the Cosby Show. I want to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I went to LA, it was kind of pursuing. We didn't know the term multi-hyphenate at the time, but that was pretty much what it was. And I then went on and did Martin, which was like my favorite thing ever. In fact, that is when, like, in terms of if there was a moment when the group disbanded, number one, let's clear this up, Mimi left first. She left after Europe. Because she, were you gonna say something?
No, my question was, because there was a moment where there was like,
space.
People didn't really understand what was happening. But, So who left first?
Mimi actually left first. And it was very like, I want to get my education. She had fallen in love. Our schedule was, when I tell you, like, our schedule was crazy. We would go to Europe and be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was kind of like, I think maybe the thrill had worn out a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, you know, if you want to leave, I have a friend who I went to college with who's a dope singer. I'm gonna invite her to be a part of the group, Kina. And I talked to the record company and I was like, hey, can we do this on BET? Can we like pass the torch so that it doesn't feel like we just broke up because we hate each other, right? So we came up with this she has bronchitis thing, which is just kind of gone forever. Although she did, and it was presenting issues, but the truth was, she was just like, I want to get my education. Like, I want to be with my family. I want to pursue a real life, which, how can you fault somebody for that? So we did the whole, like, passing of the torch, and it was the first time all four of us performed together. We did it on BET, which was dope.
That.
Yep, we did Craig Mack. We performed with Craig Mack remix. Yep, absolutely. And then after that, you know, the truth is, Maxie and Kina didn't get along very well.
Okay.
People always assumed it was me because I was so vocal, but Maxie decided, you know, after some years that she wanted to pursue more European sound. You know, she was kind of over. So one day, our managers invited us into a meeting, and I was the only one there. And I was like, where's Max? And they're like, well, this is why we wanted you to come. Maxie has decided she's done and she no longer wants to do this.
Ooh.
And it's not about you. It's about her pursuing her dreams.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And they're like, well, the good news is you've inherited the group. And I'm like, but there is no group.
Right.
Like, it's done. You know what I mean? And around that time, I had started, like, you know, pursuing. I did Martin, and I did Living Single, and I was doing sitcom-y stuff. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm about to be living out loud. I set it off. I don't audition. I'm like, oh, great. Now it's my time to act. Maxie moved to Europe. She was in Europe for 10 years. Pursuing music. And I was pursuing acting and TV and film stuff.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't no like knock down, drag out, bitch, I don't like you kind of situation.
Right,
it was just, you know, we're growing up and we want to pursue other things. And I was viewed as the lead singer of the group, if that's what it was.
Right.
So like I understand people wanting to have their own moments in their own lane. So it wasn't really no beef, it was just.
Yeah, and I mean, and I can speak to that because when we worked together, like you and Maxie were all, I mean.
It was always like, it was vibing. It was always that,
absolutely.
And then like, you know, we would come back and try to like, you know, spot dates here and this and that and the third, but it was always mutual respect and love. Maxie was my, her name is tattooed on my wrist here. She was my sister. Best friend in the world.
Max. Dang. Yeah, absolutely.
Gone too soon for sure.
Yeah,
gone too soon.
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's clear the air. There's, you know, there were some recent comments about a new record that's out right now by
Miami.
Young
Song
Miami.
of the Summer.
Yes.
She just cracked the top 20 Hot 100 today.
It's gonna go big. It's gonna go big.
Where all my scamming ass niggas at? Where you at?
Boosting ass bitches.
You know what I mean?
Where
Spin
you
that
at? Where
shit,
you at?
baby. Spin that shit.
Baby, spin it.
You know, get in that Go Yard bag. But what, you know, so there were comments made.
Of course.
What made you, two-part question, what made you speak up about your take on the records? And do you feel, you know, that it's possible for two generations to hear the same record two different ways?
Absolutely. Now, let me first say this. I think that, and she'll probably be like, bitch, I don't care. I think she is stunning. I think she has a really fun personality, which is something that I said, but of course the positive things don't go. If it bleeds, it leads, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. People are like, why all of a suddenly? I'm like, where have you been? Because I have been a cultural warrior since day one.
Absolutely.
I've always spoken up. I spoke up about WAP. It just didn't go so far. I spoke up when Tory and the Meg thing went on. That went pretty far, right?
Yep.
I am an auntie. I am. I'm also a grandmother of two, right? Yes, I backed that ass up back in the day. Yes, I listened to all the records. Pac was my dude. You understand what I'm saying? And when wonder why they call you a bitch, when they was calling C. Dolores Tucker a bitch, I was singing right along with it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was young.
Yeah.
And I just liked the beat, and I thought it's dope, and oh well, the old people just don't know what they talking about, right? And then I became one of those old people, right? And 56 today. I didn't hear a happy birthday, but we're gonna let y'all. We're gonna let it slide.
We didn't know.
We didn't know.
She's supposed to be someplace sunny, but it was raining, so I'm here. This is sunny.
A fellow Cancerian.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
Cancer gang. Okay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. How about that for a distraction? But I was on my page talking to my grown-ass, old-ass people. And you know, I had said something about, I think I said something about it before India Irie on my YouTube channel, right?
Okay.
I think it just kind of gained traction after that. And I was listening to some kids at a pool, right? And one of the little girls started singing. And I was like, wait, what? Like, huh? I'm like, no, baby. No. Especially not in an environment where it's like, not a lot of us.
Yeah,
You can't do that. So then I got my nosy ass to kind of like really understanding what the lyrics were, right? And small personal story. I have, when I talked to you about having cousins live with me in LA, right? No disrespect to my family. Everybody knows that I love them very much. But over half the men in my family were locked up, the young men, right? Locked up. A lot of the women in my family, not a lot of them, but enough of them, had gotten into that lifestyle and had done time. I've raised babies, literally, who are the product of environments that solicited that kind of activity and whatever. And when I realized, I've always been very conscious as I've gotten older of what many of us refer to as the agenda, right? I get art. I get art. I get art. Singing a song about sex, young men singing songs about what they had to slang on the streets to survive. I come from that environment. That is different, in my opinion, than a mantra. You know, I believe in the power of music. I believe in tones and what is put into them. That is the reason why people pay billions of dollars for music for commercials. You understand what I'm saying? Music will inspire you to do the very best things in life. If you in church, listen to praise and worship. And if you're in a bad mood or you lost the love of your life, it might inspire you to do something silly, right? And having been in a situation where I watched my family for generations impacted specifically by boosting and scamming, it struck a nerve, right?
Got it.
Again, raising children whose parents were not there to raise them because they were paying the price for the choices that they made, specifically having to do with scamming and boosting. And then that decision got them locked up for something simple, and then you get into it with somebody hypothetically, and then you get more time. Right? So when I see babies singing the anthem and I know the power of music and I understand how if you repeat something so much that all of a sudden it becomes subconsciously, like, you know? And I just wanted to say, I don't agree with it. Not so much even, in my opinion, the Young Miami of it all, because this wasn't an attack on her. I'm very, very pro-Black women. I'm very like, well, we ride at dawn, what's going on? You understand?
Fair.
But then I saw a video of her teaching the routine to her children. And then someone said, well, you know, her mom did some time. And then her group member did some time. And I was like, well, how do we end up here? Right? How do we end up here? Like, I know you did some time, group member, and Mom, I know you maybe weren't in my life for a period of time because of what you did, but I'm gonna glorify and amplify this message anyway. And I understand the power of how capitalism works. When you see something like that working, you need more of it and more of it and more of it. And our backs are against the wall. When we talk about the culture, when we talk about, you know, yeah, but you did it, but you did it. But yeah, we were slaves once upon a time too.
Right.
And we got over that.
Wow, that's a perspective. I agree.
But does that make slavery okay?
It doesn't. I think ultimately, and I was telling, we were talking about this the other day, I was telling a friend the other day, I was like, I do feel like though, our generation must look ourselves in the mirror. Because a spin that only exists because Snoop Dogg's Ain't No Fun existed. Or because, now mind you, these are our records. These are records, landmarks in our lives. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, these are, you know, and I don't really. My perspective is, I hadn't really thought too much about it until the past.
And I get
weeks,
the art conversation. I really get the art conversation. I do. Yeah, I get it.
I feel like we just, you know, it's how do we shift the conversation, right?
Yep.
To your point, Nicci, is yes, our generation had these songs, but the people in charge of us did not normalize it. we had to sneak and listen to Snoop.
Now that's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact now.
Our mothers didn't openly play.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Our mothers and fathers didn't openly play Ain't No Fun.
We amongst our
Period.
peers.
Listen. When Push It came out, we walk into school, go to pick up my friend. Never forget this moment.
Yeah.
And we're like, Push It. Her grandmother came out, y'all gonna stop singing and talk about some pussy real good. Yeah. And we're like, that ain't what it says. I know what the song means.
I know what the song means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're like, she all, you know, you understand what I'm saying?
Right. There was almost like a gatekeeping.
Come on, man. As my mother wouldn't let me listen to Naughty by Nature, I'd be like, no, this is great. So she was like,
OPP.
What does OPP stand for?
What does it stand for?
And I was like, I tried to say something else. She was like, boy, I know what OPP stands for.
And we had to buy the records, or we had to hear them on the beat. Now,
it's everywhere.
It's
everywhere.
The access.
I get the concern.
I think to that point,
I get the concern.
I'm an auntie. I'm not apologizing for that shit. I got 2 grandkids.
I think
it
it's
ain't
the
nothing
normalization.
personal. That's it. And what's even more nefarious is it takes a lot of promotion and a lot of power to get that record to where it is right now. And when I read that it's Grammy consideration and going in on Billboard. Because honestly, and this might sound disrespectful and shady, but you know I be saying shit that be slightly disrespectful and shady. I don't think the record is that brilliant. Outside of the fact that it's hugely successful, and I know that's an argument. Well, everybody like it. When we hear things in repetition, when the people have the power to make sure that every time you scroll, it comes up in your timeline, there's something more nefarious there. It's not just an organic, because as people, we know great music. We know what is sonically superior. And I'm not saying everything gotta be I'm Not My Hair, and if you love me, say it, do it, show it, prove it. Because I work out to Cardi B's album all the time. I wish I had Meg knees, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I like the idea that we can kind of control how it gets to our babies. And when I look and I see elementary schools of kids singing the song, and I think about, how I would feel if a bunch of non-Black people walked into a room asking where all my scamming ass niggas and boosting ass bitches, I'll be ready to fight.
Yeah. No. Well said.
To me, it's a telltale sign to where we are
100%
as a culture, right? I get the fun in it.
Yeah, me too.
I get it. I understand why the song is a hit. The hook is very, very first listen. I get it. But I also understand the ramifications of it. Yeah. It's like, do we?
And there will be more. There will be lots more.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a lot more.
There will be lots more.
It works.
Yeah.
Look at hip-hop culture for the past 20 years, There's a song like this in every category.
There is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I get it though.
I want them to spend as much time giving real artists and real creatives, not to say that she's not.
Yeah.
There I go.
Let's not do that, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying she's not a real artist or a real creative. I just want to see some of this really dope new music having the opportunity to penetrate the people that way too.
And I guess
there was more balance.
Your question is like, how do you penetrate the algorithm? Because that's what people are following. That's what this whole thing is. The thing is the algorithm. You know what I mean?
And the algorithm becomes harder to penetrate when, at the end of the day, now we are allowing, and I'm getting into the tech space, right? So I know what I'm talking about. I spoke at South by Southwest this year. Holla at you, girl.
Hey.
Let's go.
Computers don't know anything except what we put in them, right? When we talk about AI, right? The oil and gas, industrial revolution data, we are teaching it how to treat us. We are teaching it how to define who we are. Right. And when that much of what is just art and just, is in the system, they don't know how to separate what's real.
They're just doing what's
I do feel like someone may have their finger on the scale, though, controlling it, because at least 2 or 3 times a week I find myself going, what has become of my algorithm? I know that I haven't clicked on anything that should have led me to this point.
Right.
I know I haven't.
You'll see it now. It'll like define, you make a post and it'll be like Nicci Gilbert talking ageless beauty. I'm like, I didn't say nothing about ageless beauty.
How did this end up on my thread?
The OODA, the owners of the algorithm.
True though. Be like, what?
What has become
of
my algorithm?
And the bots is a whole conversation. Because I know I be arguing with robots in the comments. I know this. But I use it as an opportunity to express my opinion anyway.
Get it out there.
You know what I mean? Because what you tell it will tell another robot. And eventually, and these days, it used to be where you could just rise above it, fly above it. Candy, shout out to Candy. But now you have to be a part of the conversation because otherwise that is all that it gets.
That's true.
You understand? That's true. So I don't pay no attention to people out here who don't know me or robots who have an opinion about what the hell I'm saying out here. I'm grown. I have paid my dues. I've been crowned by the king.
Amen.
Both of them. And I'm cool with it. It doesn't, I don't take shit personally in this industry anymore.
You can't.
Because I know fame is a vapor.
Yeah.
I'm clear.
But I know, Johnta, you have a heart out.
Yeah,
what's good? How you gonna leave me?
I know. I'm sorry.
No problem. It was fun though.
So.
Yes, sir.
Let's jump into P-Valley. Are you comfortable talking about P-Valley?
Absolutely, I am. Absolutely.
Okay, so walk
Can I say this real quick?
Yes, man.
P-Valley. I wanted to be clear. I love our people. I love our culture.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and I respect people who are like, you taking it way too seriously. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like, on to spin that conversation.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want anybody to feel like I'm discounting anybody's opinion, and I love intellectual discourse about stuff like that. And I wish, I am happy, the one thing I'm really happy to see is I'm happy to see her success, because I have heard that she was viewed as an underdog of sorts. You know what I mean? So I just want people to be clear. I'm really happy about success, but that ain't changing my perspective on it.
And here's the deal. Everybody has the right to have their opinion. And just because your opinion doesn't mean that you're trying to bash her.
Thank you, Brian.
So I feel like that's, I think the discourse happens. People jump out and they're like, it's like, no, I'm just saying, let's take that out of the equation. Look at the messaging, and this is how I feel about it.
Right.
That's it.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's all. It's just perspective.
Yeah,
and it's opinion.
And I know her personally, and I've worked with her, and I love Carisha. I think that
I love her personality. Like,
you know
I love her personality. I think her and her Saucy. Like, I love. My daughter introduced me to them. Like, they're so funny.
Yeah.
But love, in my opinion, is sometimes people saying what you don't want to hear. That's how I grew up. I grew up with my aunts being like, you gaining weight, you doing such and such. It does not mean they don't like me and they bashing me. You know what I mean? And I just hope that people can see it more from an auntie who cares perspective. And your grandma, your auntie, and but we're not gonna be out here doing that and promoting.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Absolutely.
And especially when they're not trying to hurt nobody.
That's it. That's it.
So, and granted,
I just want to say it.
Yeah, I got you, understand. So P-Valley, I'm talking about it. Walk me through, let's just talk, let's start macro. Walk me through what happened.
So, like I said, I've always been a writer, right? So being from Detroit, which we talked about, my mom was a jazz singer. She used to sing in all the local clubs. If you from Detroit, there was a moment where the casinos were built.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And a lot of these like small little juke joints, quote unquote, what people call hole in the wall, whatever, places or whatever, they were impacted by the casinos coming in. There was gentrification, right?
Okay.
Being in the industry, I had a lot of friends who were in the LGBTQIA community. Growing up, the woman who did my hair was my first introduction to a trans person. Okay. And just seeing how people would treat, that community like a spectacle. So when I started writing, I actually toured with Tyler Perry. I did Meet the Browns.
Oh, nice. Okay, I knew that.
Yes, I played Vera Brown. You shop. And I learned the power of theater, live theater, urban theater, And I was like, well, I want to do something a little different. I want to do something that's slightly elevated, that kind of mixes slightly elevated, and it's about a club where women dance, right? But that mixes sort of the Broadway with the urban theater space, whatever. So I wrote this show, and was pitching it all over the place. And then I finally did like a presentation of it. I wrote it in 2004, copyrighted it in 2006, right? And I started pitching it around to people. So I did a presentation of it in Detroit. Didn't really go anywhere, but it's still a musical. Like, musicals last forever if you're lucky, right? So I went to, when I toured with Tyler, I realized, you know what? This could go from play to TV series.
Okay.
I specifically said, if I'm doing this as a series, I'm doing this as a dramatic musical drama series, right? So working with Tyler introduced me to the man who financed Tyler's plays, his shows. Really powerful brother from Texas, who said, if you really want to do this the right way, I remember Tyler telling us when he sold or licensed his content to Lionsgate, ironically, the same company I went to war with, that he demanded to have ownership of it so that he could, so he went from play to TV shows, whatever.
I mean, he can control it too.
He controlled the ownership, right? So, and then when I did R&B Divas, which I'm sure we'll get into, I did not have ownership. And I did not understand that. So,
and I know you were a creative.
I created
I remember that specifically.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't no other folks. I mean, Faith obviously was the only reason we got picked up. You know what I mean? But cast it, all of that, right?
Okay.
So I had actually met with AP, who was working with Tyler. And he said, see, you didn't have ownership of the R&B Divas thing. You right? Make sure going forward, I will do the same thing I did with Tyler, which basically he funded Tyler's episodes of his series that went from play to, and not to put his business on the street. The same investor that Tyler had, I had. So he said, Lionsgate does those kinds of deals. And if you can get distribution for it and retain ownership, I will finance it for you. He's a real financial person. We learned through the Tyler situation how that worked.
I get it.
So he actually paid for me to relocate to LA to go out and pitch, networks and stuff. So I met with my attorney, shout out to Leroy Bobbitt in LA. And I was like, hey, I have the same money guy as Tyler. And I have a play, it's a musical to TV to drama series. He said, I have some people that you should meet with. They're friends of mine. I've known them for years. He made the call while I was in the office and set up the meeting. Wow. Right? He was like, you're gonna meet with 2 guys. I'm not even gonna put their names out there because it is what it is. So I brought 2 copies of everything to this meeting. And I went to the meeting with my publicist at the time, who was also my godmother. And I pitched it I brought 2 copies because I thought I was meeting with 2 people. So the head guy was like, oh, my business affairs guy couldn't make it, but I'd love to hear your story. So I literally, like me and you sitting just like this, he was sitting just like you, as a matter of fact, no shade, and I shared the story with him, and I specifically remember him saying, Tata, what's his name? What's the character's name? I said, Tata Burlesque, which is French slang for auntie. He said, I love it. He said, I'm gonna take the script, read it with my family. I like to read scripts with my family over the weekend. Take the script, read it with my people, and then I'll get back with Leroy and we'll see where it goes. Well, if you know anything about Hollywood, if somebody doesn't hit you back, it's just, okay, keep it moving. You know what I mean? Damn, he wasn't interested. I just knew I sold that. It was just, I was geeked in the moment. So this was 2013.
I'm about to say, how many years ago was that?
This was like 2014-ish, right? So I didn't think anything of it. 2020 rolls around. I'm still hustling it though, because I'm still.
And you're still shopping the project.
I'm still shopping it. We had planned to do a whole. I'm still like, you don't write a musical that. I mean, I met with Shakim, Latifah's guy about it. Everybody, because it was very different. It was like, oh, this is crazy because you got this LGBTQIA guy who owns a burlesque club. It wasn't a strip club. It was a burlesque club. The same concept, right? A little more, slightly more pulled up, but whatever. It's about Detroit gentrification, all that stuff. So I'd been hearing about P-Valley. Never was there any speculation. I was never like, oh, they got a show with strippers and a gay guy. It's my show. One of the key moments in my show was the character arrived carrying this red vintage suitcase, like out of nowhere. And she like auditioned for the club and was dressed conservatively. And he's like, go to the back. When I saw that exact sequence.
Wow.
First of all, my husband saw it. It was like, babe, you gotta come down here. I was like, I'm busy. Like, I ain't watching that. Go on and watch the strippers, babe. Like, you know, I know what you're doing. We ain't finna, this ain't a Netflix and chill. Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool. And then someone, like, the next day was like, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations about what? So I start getting these, like, responses from people who had done the show before. And somebody specifically was like, girl, I don't know if this is you or not, but hello, Tata, Uncle Clifford. I'm like, what? Who is Uncle? No. So I go and I watch it. Mm-hmm. This was like coming off of the heels of some mess with Kelly Price, that whole thing, right? I was like, wait, this feels like my red vintage suitcase, LBG. He even said in the beginning of my play, it's like, what's your name? She says, Brandy Whitaker. He says to her, what's your name? Autumn Night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cadence and all of that. Still was like, not enough. When I watched beginning, middle, and end, which is what I want people to understand, right? Story, not aesthetic. They gave them $100 million to do P-Valley. My budget for my play was under $100K, right? So there are so many things that you add and nuances and cars driving
when you
up,
have
other elements, right?
Budget,
When you have the budget, there's much more story. But what I gave to Lionsgate was a pilot script, pilot episode. My DVD of the show with Fantasia and Faith, who did me a favor. They're like, girl, you don't know what you're doing, but we your friends and we gonna be here for you. I left it was a musical drama series, and I left those things there. And when I discovered that Lionsgate was the company that owned, I was like, huh? Wait a minute. So then I watch it all the way through, and I'm like, if this happens in the ending, then I know, right? Because there was this gun thing, and then they ended up thinking that the owner got hit and he didn't. Like, it was like little
very
things
specific things.
Very specific. 57 similarities, to be exact. A casino takeover, a homophobic person who comes in to take over the casino. You know what I mean? I'm like, now these are just too similar.
It is not a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence. So I reached out to an attorney and I gave him all my stuff, and they're like, I don't know if I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, I don't know what, but I've never seen a case as close, right? Wow. So, you know, we were in Atlanta, which is where I live, where the writer of P-Valley lived. And they kept telling me all along, this is a big fight, this is a big fight, this is a big company, it's publicly traded, you don't want it. But me being a little naive and believing in the justice system and believing in the right to at least go before a jury, I said, listen, if a jury sees all this evidence and they say no, I'm delusional, I'll eat it. But they transferred it out of transferred it out of Atlanta after a year. And for no reason, in my opinion, sent it to LA to a very specific judge, in my opinion. I was like, oh, this is where this starts to happen. You know, and initially they had offered me something to just kind of let it go. But I remembered what I did this for, and it was for the ownership, right? You know what I'm saying? I was like, no. This is a property that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into. I at least deserve to go before a jury for them to determine whether or not this is a real viable case, especially since they were really quick to offer me a settlement.
I get it.
Like, the settlement came fast. Or the offer for settlement came fast. And then as we did more digging, and I was like, oh, she didn't copyright until 2018? My DVD was out in 2011, my da-da-da-da. Then one of my main leads for my show was in her show years later. And I was like connecting all the dots, and then I had an expert. And the expert was like, without a doubt, you can't have expert. I didn't know this guy. I never talked to him, because you can't talk to experts or, you know, you blow it, right? My lawyers did. But when he was like, I've never seen anything like this, without a doubt.
Wow.
The judge threw out my expert's report, dismissed my case. He dismissed it actually before he even really read it good. As soon as it got to LA, like a couple weeks later, it was like, we out of here. And we were like, no, wait, hold on. And I never got a chance to go to trial. I lost in every court. I was a pro se petitioner with the Supreme Court, because I was just like, no, I've been in this for 5 years. And at the point that you owe, hundreds of thousands of dollars and then close to $1 million, you're like, well, I really got to figure this thing out now. And they just never gave me the opportunity to go before a jury.
Wow.
And it was devastating, because imagine you're watching the biggest show on the planet, And you're like,
your
I'm the person who pitched this to the people who are putting this show on. My copyright came before hers. These similarities exist. We even cut together visual comparisons. And everybody who watched it without bias was like, well, at least go to trial. My whole thing is at least give me a chance to go to trial after 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was like, nope. And then that's when I realized the judicial system is not for all of us. It's for wealthy people.
Yeah, that was my next question. So what did it teach you?
It taught me that if you don't have the bread,
you can't.
And you don't have the relationships, you just got to take that to the chin and keep it moving. Because you will lose He actually ruled that I have to pay the legal fees for the company and the people because I was frivolous and absurd. And it was devastating. My attorney was so sick at my appeal, could not even stand during my appeal.
Wow.
He had emergency surgery like the next day, and they gave me no grace. My sister had brain cancer and died, and I was full caregiver for her while I was going through the process.
So many things happening at the same time.
It was all happening. My parents died. It's just so much happening, and I was just like, this is either going to destroy me or this is going to forge me through the fire. And that's why when stuff like this, Spin That Thing, I took like billion-dollar corporations to task.
Yeah, like you have no idea. Yeah,
miss me with the bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what I have to say.
Got you.
I worked for that.
I got you.
I suffered for that. I suffered losses for that.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so I wish, and again, let me disclaimer, I wish no ill will towards not one. I think the cast is super talented. I'm happy that these people are able, especially Brandy Mercedes, caring for her mother. Like, I had to care for my mom when she had a stroke. I get it, and I felt terrible, you know, knowing that this could potentially end that, but, you know.
You know what's interesting too, and we'll get into the R&B Divas situation too, but I think what's interesting is that you are a case study that you could do all the things right. Copyright, do proof of content, pitch, the whole nine, and have all of the proof. And the system can just still take your shit and just...
I think we're learning. I think we're learning now with this administration. That is, you know.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, really, I
didn't know.
I
didn't know.
Crazy. So let's back up, because I remember when you were doing R&B Divas, when you started it.
Yeah.
I remember that whole thing.
Yes.
Obviously, reality TV was like
the thing.
The thing. Obviously, when we talked earlier, that was a direct creative from you.
Yeah.
You came up with that 100%.
Yes, sir. And actually, it's connected to Soul Kittens, because when I did Soul Kittens in Detroit, Tatiana Ali, Selena Johnson, Angie Stone, Monifa, like, they were all a part of it. And I was like, oh, let's capture the behind the scenes, the making of, let's show our struggles and blah, 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 blah. So it started from Soul Kittens Cabaret. And then I was like, you know what? And I literally flew everybody down, reached out to Lil Mo, reached out to Coco, reached out to Kelly, reached out to everybody. Like, no, we could do this. Let's do it. And it was, and that's the reason, honestly, I fought so hard, Brian, with this P-Valley thing. Because R&B Divas almost broke me. Like, completely. Because I was still kind of in a space of, like, wanting to be accepted. Wanting to be, you know what I mean? I was like, and I almost wasn't on camera in the first season. I was like, I want to Mona Scott this thing, because I want to be taken seriously as a producer. Like, you know, people are like, you want clout? I don't want to fucking be famous. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I get It's all good, it's all good.
I ain't trying to be famous. I want to be impactful, and I want to help provide platforms for people.
Do you think if you would have stayed behind the camera, instead of getting in front of the camera, it would have changed the dynamic?
I think it would have changed the dynamic, but here's an interesting point. So when the shenanigans all started, and here's the thing, like, I always get a lot of flack for R&B Divas. Faith left. Kiki left after the third season. People, and I wasn't even involved in LA, and the women from LA was like, I ain't never. You understand what I'm saying? So if we just take the hate that people have for the polarizing role I played on the show, and really think about what other people said about it, how other people experienced the same thing. Again, when you are the squeaky wheel, and you're like, no, hold on, we're not about to do this, then you become the target, right? So the network, I wasn't coming back after season 1 because I became like clear. Like they literally asked my daughter to proposition Kiki's husband during the, see, that's what I'm saying. Like seriously, my daughter, 18 years old, they literally, and I'm telling you how I found that, like literally, Mother's Day, Curvato fashion show, you know, we're doing a Mother's Day event. Monifa's daughter, my daughter, Faith's daughter. I flew Faith's daughter out to surprise her. This was a Mother's Day thing. Yeah. And my husband didn't want to tell me until after we wrapped, because he was like, this is gonna blow the whole fashion show. But they came, Ramona DeBro from radio, they came to Ramona first. And they said, Ramona, do you mind like just flirting a little bit with Kiki's husband? Producers. And Ramona was like, are you crazy? Nicci asked me to do this as a friend. Like, are you crazy? And she didn't know if I had anything to do with
exactly.
it, right? And then they went from asking Ramona to going to my daughter, who was sitting next to Kiki and Michael, and saying, can you just like put your hand on Michael's leg? But Kiki, 9 months pregnant. And I didn't find out this shit until my husband was like, don't tell her, don't say nothing. So afterwards, he was like, come here, babe, come here. So he walks me over to the producer. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, green as fuck, right? We want to apologize. We made a really bad TV call. We asked your daughter to do something that we regret. And I'm like, what? And when they told me, I
can only imagine what that energy was immediately when you did.
I said, y'all really got it out for me.
Y'all got it out. Y'all want me to lose it.
Y'all want me to lose it. So I decided I wasn't coming back. But the network then said, if you don't come back, the show's not coming back. So they flew me to DC. I met with the powers that be at TV One. I was like, I'm just not gonna come back. Like, I'll do it. If you don't come back, the show's over. Wow. So I asked them, listen, as long as we can do this tour, as long as we can, you know, gave them a list of things. There was a producer that nobody wanted to work with. I was like, this guy, he's not coming back. He's not gonna be back on the set. He's not coming back. They made him the head of all the people who were on the set. Wow. Like, figured out that little way, right? Like, slid him in. And the first day back, I don't even know I'm going to Selena's house. First day back, I'm like, as long as we're doing this tour, me and Faith had already worked out the tour with the #1 tour promoter in the country and AEG Live Nation. I go in and I sit down, and Selena and her sister are like, we got this idea for this tour. And I was like, oh, here we go with this shit. Wow. And that's how the season started, and it ended terribly. And a gun was pulled on my husband the very last day of taping, Rocky, Latasha's husband. Wow. After the whole SpongeBob blow up, whatever. My husband's 6'8", Marine, and Rocky was like, I can't fight him, but I have to shoot him. And I'm like, what? And I see this guy and I'm like, are you kidding me? They're pushing my husband back to the car. Like, I'm like, this was done turned into R&B demons. You know what I mean?
And this is the network and the producers creating.
So let me be clear. TV One was not here for the shenanigans and the BS.
Okay.
But what we didn't realize is that the production company they were delivering the show. So there wasn't a whole lot that TV One could do except—
I get it. Just take the show.
Because the TV One said in the meeting, it was like, listen, Nicci is our anchor for Nicci and Faith, because Faith had already decided to leave. They're like, you cannot disrespect this woman. You cannot disrespect her family. What you pulled with her daughter, because I called them about this. And they were very supportive. Even halfway through, they were like, Nicci Gilbert is a terror to work with, because I was like, we ain't gonna be drinking. It's not gonna be this. It's not gonna be that. You know, and again, let me say, I'm not playing victim here. I was very, being one of the older members of the cast, right? And the creator of the show, I thought I had a little bit of clout. I thought I would be able to say, listen, we're not about to do this. You know what I mean? And I learned the hard way that I did not. So it was a huge learning experience for me. And TV One was not a part of that madness. In fact, they were trying to figure out how to resolve it. But you have producers that are younger than us who don't know our music. who don't, all they want to do is make good TV. You know what I mean? And we were already established, so there was a certain amount of pride or ego, if you want to call it, from all of us who were like, we ain't got to do this, sugar honey ice.
Everybody's established.
Everybody's established.
Everybody's...
But then you start getting in people's ears and you start promising spinoffs. And you start saying, Nicci thinks she's the shit. Who's gonna be the person to prove to her that she's not? And it goes from, thank you for providing this opportunity, sis, and bringing me here
to now.
I'm gonna make sure that and I'm like, I'm not backing down from nobody's.
Everything you went through in regards to that situation, looking back, which I know, you know, that a lot of drama was there, but looking back, do you think that, what kind of impact do you think that show had on R&B culture? Did it show, was it able to show people the real behind the scenes? I know you guys had drummed up stuff, but I know that there was sessions, there were, you know, I know there was a tour plan, there were, how do you think that impacted the culture?
You know, it's really interesting because Brian, if you asked me this question a couple years ago, I'd be like, it's some bullshit. I'm really grateful for what the show did for the culture. I hate that most of the women, again, this ain't just the Nicci Gilbert and Selena Johnson thing. Most of the women are divided, have not spoken since they left the set.
Wow.
Their experiences were pretty bad. I felt guilty about it because I asked them to participate in it. I asked my friends, you know, people I've been friends with for many years. Our relationships are never, ever going to be the same. It's been 15 years and people have not spoken. Me and Monifa spoke for the first time in like 12 years, a couple years ago. It was crazy. So from that perspective, what it's done in terms of dividing us as a sisterhood, as many people as we've lost in R&B music, I hate that part. What it did in terms of introducing the culture to us in a different light outside of just hearing our voices on the radio, it was really kind of pre-social media, right?
So it was out, but it wasn't as
it was out, it was Twitter maybe, and like, you know, Instagram was relatively new, it was very, very early. So you weren't able to see the day-to-day of people's lives and stuff. So I thought from that perspective, the shit was dope. And just also the fact that it helped us become more relevant. And introduce our music and our gifts to other people. Now, having full ownership of the brand, which took a long time.
So it's yours
I own it 100% now, yes. Well, I don't own shit. A company that I have some influence in.
Excuse me, excuse me, Build that back. I know what that means.
Owns that. I'm just someone who works for the company and has a lot of influence there, right? Looking back and seeing how much the culture loved it and what a cultural phenomenon it was, I'm like, that shit was dope. And maybe we took some moments too seriously because we all had a little ego. We all had a little this and that. So it's a double-edged sword.
I get it.
On the one hand, it's like, ooh, I wish that, you know, would I, in exchange for the relationships and the sisterhood and the love, would I say that I wish that it didn't happen, the series? I'm not so sure because I think that everything happens for a reason, like we were saying earlier, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't have ownership if I was just still in the show, like being a regular deck. We'd be in season 18 and not understanding. So the lessons I learned about ownership, the way it gave me the will to fight for the culture and for our ownership, which is the most important word that any artist or any creative needs to focus on in this world is the ownership. It doesn't mean you have to control everything, but meaningful partnerships with people who get it, right?
So I do have a question. If you had an opportunity, I mean, obviously you guys have the brand back. What does a reboot look like for you?
Ooh, I mean, hopefully the reboot looks like Michael Cox and Johnta coming on board to help us do a dope-ass album and French and them doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? A reboot looks like me stepping out of the way and allowing people who are really, really good at making great TV to do that. Me being far more neutral than I was before. I don't need to be Sister Soldier, fight the power. I understand now as a 56-year-old woman that power is sometimes a little more in the cut. You know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't have to know what you don't agree with. And look, after the spin that comment, people like, well, maybe that's what we mean. That's different. It looks like building something that makes, I have like a wish list. We're actually in the process of doing an R&B Divas universe, which is East, West, North, and South.
Nice.
Right? I want to see the women have equitable interest in the franchise. The biggest thing is I want it to be something that really dope, incredible singers who are maybe a slightly more visible or, you know, more, I don't want to say more popular, but, you know, who we're more familiar with, feeling like it's a safe space for them to be able to come in and, like, show the world that they're working on the album and a tour. I see R&B Divas Festival.
Oh, I love
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah,
I see R&B Divas legends. I see some of the older divas that are like, you know, Jones Girl, you know what I mean? Like, I see R&B Divas daughters. You know what I mean? So many of our daughters are in the music industry. I see it becoming a franchise that is a safe space, still interesting and funny and diva'd out, because divas gonna be divas.
Of course.
And compelling, and you know you need a little bit of that for TV.
Yeah, you gotta have
but,
you know?
Yeah, I want it to be something that allows us, because there are not that many labels out here that are really like leaning into R&B like that, right? And there's a lot of hidden gems in social media, these go-go's and these, you know what I mean? People, I saw Coco talk about the fact that Coco, not Coco
Jones.
from SWV, Coco Jones, thank you.
Yeah, she's been talking, she's been vocal a lot.
And Lizzo, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why can't we have, the Kardashians have won.
They killed it.
Because of docuseries reality TV.
Yeah, they killed it.
Why can't we have a space where we can do that?
I mean, in that generation, there's a lot. It's so many in this new generation. So many young R&B artists, Ari Lennox, the Kelanis, the Coco Jones, Alex Osmond. There's so many.
Kelly Rowlands and Tamia's and Deborah. I don't want them to be like, I would never. Like they be, and that my responsibility as a creator is to just try to figure out how we can make it a safe space so that they can leverage that platform, because there's a huge audience out there for it, which I had no idea. Folks went crazy.
Oh no,
you guys
were doing numbers.
I was like, damn,
you know what I mean?
okay, y'all, we love it.
Y'all was doing numbers for sure. Yeah,
I just want to prove that, you know, we're worthy of anybody feeling safe. You know, Shaka Khan said something to us when we did the Trumpet Awards.
Yeah.
And it hit me in the chest recently. I had a chance to hang out with her in Miami. She said, we're passing the baton to y'all now. Y'all have to take care of this genre. Y'all have to make sure that the legends and the legacies survive and live on. We did this whole thing right after Whitney passed.
Yeah.
You understand? Like this was so much bigger than any one of us. It was a opportunity for us to preserve the legacies of so many dope ass women in R&B music. And I really want to, my mission, my goal is to just do the work of like making it a safe space for us to like continue what Shaka said we need to continue.
You know, I love this conversation. I know we will finish this conversation offline. You know what I'm saying?
Please!
But I got you.
How many people? Can we get the super producer?
Here we get on.
Stop playing.
I'm very happy you came to sit with us.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
We could talk for a whole nother hour, 2 hours. You already know.
Y'all been here. We've been here.
I want y'all to know this is the legend, the great Nicci Gilbert. We're very happy that she came to sit with us. I don't know if you have any final thoughts that you'd like to tell the audience.
Just that I love the culture. I am a culture warrior. Anytime I speak up, even if it comes off a little bit abrasive and a little auntie, it is absolutely for the benefit of the culture going forward. And I get that the youth should be able to live in their fullness and be who they are. I just want to make sure that I'm doing what my ancestors did for me, which is wisdom and pouring wisdom into the community, even if it doesn't always sound nice.
Yeah.
It's always rooted in love. And I want to be remembered as somebody who worked my ass off to provide opportunities for other creatives to have something real, to create generational wellness and wealth in our families. Because we do this better than anybody. I'm just going to go on and say it.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment media, we got this shit locked. And we have to, at some point, you know, be brave enough to understand that silence can hurt us sometimes, as much as being vocal, you know, gets us labeled.
Well, I agree, and everybody will close on that. I want to give a big shout out to our guest, Miss Nicci Gilbert. Give a big shout out to my co-host, my partner in crime, Johnta Austin. And I am Bryan-Michael Cox. And thank you for watching Sessions. See you guys next time.
Thank you, Bryan. Thank you, brother. I got you, boo.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.